What's up, guys? Welcome back to Gingerata. We're gonna work on the car tonight, but before we do, we're gonna go have some fun out on the lake with a little bit redneck jet skiing. Do a little jet skiing before the sun goes down.
And he can run and go get his life jacket.
You got like 2 inches! What's up, everybody? Just got done jet skiing, and I have to say that was pretty fun. So we'll be doing a lot more of that throughout the summer. But yeah, here we are back in the shop, and I'm excited because we're actually going to start tearing apart the car. So let's go over what we're going to do today. Alright, my goal for today is to remove the radiator. So that will include the bumper support, front mount, and that should get it, and then drain the coolant, of course. And then I would like to also remove the intake manifold, because the last drive I took it out in Idaho, I found a leak that was coming from somewhere down in here. I'm thinking that it might be the coolant crossover pipe, so I'm going to take that apart and check those gaskets. And there's a few other things that I'm going to check while it's off. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, here we are with the bumper off. I just wanted to stop here and kind of go over my setup, kind of talk about what I did in case anyone out there is wanting to do a similar swap. The most tricky thing about the EG33 and the Impreza is the area in front. So the radiator, and then if you're planning on turboing, running a front mount. As you can see, it is very tight. Let me see, let me get a flashlight. There, so you can kind of see that is the gap between my crankshaft pulley and my radiator fan. And I had just under 2 inches of clearance, so one thing that I really struggled with was trying to find a fan that I could fit back there that had a high CFM just to keep things cool. And I went with it's called a Sidewinder fan. If you Google it, you can find it. And why this fan is different is because it has the motor of the fan located at the end. So that's the motor to it, and since it's not in the middle, it leaves more room in the center for just for like center clearance. And that helped me a lot because I could have the least amount of clearance in the middle so that I wasn't hitting on that pulley. So I'm running this Griffin radiator, which is just a universal radiator, but it's a dual pass, has a thick core, and so it's supposed to be a really nice one. Let's see this is how I mounted my front mount. And what this is, because this is actually an L, it's not a real RS. So when I did the RS front bumper, I actually just cut the L bumper support in half, and that makes it so that you can fit it inside the RS bumper. And then I just took this piece of, I think it's might be 1.5 inch angle iron. I just bolted it onto the bumper support, and then I could hang my front mount off of it. What's nice is when I get a different front mount, I can drill holes anywhere along here and make it so that I can mount just about any intercooler that I want. Then my piping, I custom did all of this. Comes off the turbo and it goes through my fender there, out the bottom, and then usually Subaru front mounts run back up right here between the engine and the radiator and everything, but I have zero clearance for that, so I went all the way across into the other fender, and it comes in right behind the battery. Blow off valve, this is just a stock SCI blow off valve for now, and I welded on my intake temp and then straight into the collector, which I welded and made. Might not be the best design, but that's how I chose to do it. So I'm not saying that any of my setup is the best way to do it, because honestly this is my first time ever doing a full swap on a car, and so I had to learn a ton. But that's the fun of it to me, is learning as you go and making things fit. So let's get back to tearing it apart. Alright, while I have it off, I want to give you a closer look at this radiator fan and kind of the somewhat ghetto setup I have for it. So how does this work? So this is the motor. There's a belt that runs between here, which turns it. Like I was explaining before, this motor is offset so that I have this motor underneath everything, and then here where the motor normally is, they can make really thin and fit in tight spots. Then this is a bracket that I made, and it pretty much bolts between here, that lower support, and it just, that fan sits right in there and it's snug and doesn't move. So again, might not be the best way, but it works. Alright, so this is where I am right now. Did some taking apart off camera just to get some things done. Drain the coolant, since I assume everyone should know how to do that. The radiator is pretty much just sitting here, ready to be taken out. I'm just waiting for the coolant to stop flowing, which it pretty much has, so I think that's what I'm going to do. Take that off, and then all we have next is the intake manifold. I think we're done for the night. Well, there it is. Still hear some coolant in there, but yeah, that's what that Griffin radiator looks like. Pretty straightforward. Alright guys, I'm getting pretty close to be able to lift this intake off. So I'm going to pull it off, and there's probably a few things that I'm going to have to do, but should be pretty close. Just like that. Alright guys, I think that's it for tonight. I feel like we got a lot done, so I'm feeling good about that. If anyone has any questions about my build, or if you're interested in doing the build, have any questions about how to set things up or my opinion on things, I'd love to give some advice. I know my way is not the best way, and there's a lot of things on this car that I would do differently just because I've learned a lot from when I started. But that's just part of the game. You kind of learn as you go, and that's how we all grow. So thank you guys all for watching, and of course if you would like to keep up with the build, just subscribe to this, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.